Hi, I'm Maria and I live in the UK.
Hi, I'm Shanthi and I live in Ireland.
I have multiple sclerosis, scoliosis, anxiety, and I'm a little neurospicy.
I have celiac, small fiber peripheral neuropathy, chronic fatigue syndrome, um, something else. Depression, that's it. Anxiety, and probably also a little neurospicy.
I love that I laughed while you said depression.
I mean, why not? It's cool.
I mean, that is kind of insight into our humor.
Indeed.
We share gallows humor.
Indeed.
Here.
We
Oh,
also swear a lot.
yeah, yeah. Fuck yeah. Shanti and I have been friends for 16 years.
We met via immigrating to the UK and then also happened to start on our chronic illness diagnosis journeys around the same time as well.
We both suffer from brain fog, so expect
Indeed.
long rambles and tangents.
Indeed. If you're here for coherence, you probably want to look elsewhere.
Yeah, yeah. Look for another channel. So settle in with a cup of tea or your beverage of choice.
And also, we are both fairly liberal with swearing, so if you have small children or are sensitive to that kind of thing, again, we might not be for you. But otherwise, welcome.
So, what's been going on? Well, it has been about a month since we last recorded, and I was talking about how great my school was, and they were being really accommodating and making it accessible, and they still would be. But uh it broke me. Those 2 hours a week, it really broke me. I physically couldn't do anything else. So between doc oh my God, back-to-back doctor's appointments, because I've had MRI, nerve block, GP appointment, flu
All
vaccine.
the
It's just been
things.
like constant back to back. Um, yeah, between all of that, uh, and those 2 hours, I couldn't do anything. Not anything fun, not anything like remotely
Productive.
useful. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Uh, so yeah, I found out a couple weeks ago that I could qualify for medical retirement and take my teacher's
Nice.
pension early. I'm only 39, but hey.
Take that defined benefit pension when you can get it, I say.
Exactly. So I have applied. There is a delay because my neurologist is apparently ill. Uh, so yeah, I won't actually be able to send the medical information over for probably another month, maybe longer. But I tapped out early because I was just like, it's not
That's
worth it.
fair
I'm
enough.
getting paid for 2 hours a week. It's
Yeah.
not worth this amount of deadness. So yeah,
Yeah, for sure.
decided to just finish with schools altogether. So I had my
Nice.
last day in school on Thursday. The school was very nice. They like got me a bunch of chocolate and the kids made me cards and it was super sweet.
Nice.
And I feel like if it was my old school where I had been there for so long, I would have been emotional. But instead
Yeah.
it was just like, thanks for the chocolate, guys.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was nice being here briefly.
Yes.
Yeah.
I mean, they are all
Nice.
really, really nice. I kept
Yeah.
saying this is the best last school that I
Yeah.
could think to have you. But like, yeah, I'm just done. I'm so
It's just
done.
not worth it. I don't know.
It's
I
so
feel
so
like also
tiring.
so many people don't do the calculations of like how much it costs to do work. Like
Mhm.
just having professional clothes, commuting, eating
Yeah.
out if you are working in an office and you pop down to get a sandwich at
Mhm.
lunch. Like they don't do the math. And so they just think, oh, I make, whatever, 20 pounds an hour. Great, go me. But when you factor in all those extra things, let
Yeah.
alone illness, it's like, oh, actually, you're making like 8 pounds an hour or whatever,
Right,
like,
right.
and then it becomes really obvious. It's like, would I do this for 8 pounds an hour?
Yeah.
No, you know.
I mean, doing freelance classroom teaching is a decent hourly wage,
Yeah,
but you're not getting paid for planning time as freelance.
exactly. Yeah,
I was not paying into a pension because I was freelance. You can only do that if you're a contracted teacher. So I
yeah,
had been paying into my pension for like 5 years. Um, and yeah, I was so tired when I would get home, and Alex's job is so physical, and he's been so tired lately that on Thursday I would get home, not be able to move, and it would be like, well, I guess we'll order
yeah.
pizza or something. Uh,
Yeah, and then
so
that wipes
then,
out most
yeah,
of your earnings because
exactly.
it's like,
That's like
oh, I
half
just
of
spent
what I
20
just
pounds on my
earned.
pizza.
Yeah,
Yeah.
half of
Yeah.
what I earned is gone now. So cool.
Which is fine. Like, if that's what you want to do, that's
Yeah,
totally cool.
but it's
But
not.
if it's not what you want to do and it's also
Yeah,
breaking you physically, it's like,
yeah.
yeah, this is not worth it.
And like I could have kept doing that and still applied for medical retirement because they're only interested in contracted teaching, gainful employment, which is 30 plus hours
Yeah.
a week. So technically I still could have carried on, but I couldn't. I just couldn't.
Yeah. Yeah. Physically, your body was just like,
Yeah.
no. Nah.
And as soon as it knew, as soon as my body was like, oh, we have another plan for survival,
Yeah.
we're done. That's it.
Yeah. Yeah.
I also went off my fatigue med completely about
Yeah. I think you were doing
what,
that.
3 weeks
You were,
ago?
yeah, you
So
were
that
at the
was
beginning
like
of that.
in the middle, yeah, of like looking into all the retirement things.
Yeah.
So yeah.
That just adds an extra.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I've been trying to get the mobility scooter to and from school, which is fine. Like the actual journey, I feel confident with that now, which is a big
Yeah.
change to before where it was like, I think I'm going to kill myself.
Yeah.
Uh, so yeah, the actual journey's fine, but then we don't have a ramp. I've been trying
Yeah.
to get a ramp, and I just had an OT come to visit me on what, Thursday? No, Wednesday, to discuss this. Um,
Hmm.
and yeah, they're gonna try and get in touch with the council and see if they can do anything, but otherwise we have to move. So that's fun.
Yeah.
Um,
Nice.
so yeah, the actual getting it into the building, that itself breaks me.
Yeah, it's
And then the
tricky. Yeah.
school, they had a nice place for me to park the scooter, but it had a curb like that high.
Oh, that sucks.
And it's a really low
And the
scooter
scooters aren't like
too.
crazy heavy, but still, it's enough where it's like you
Yeah,
notice
it's
it.
too heavy for me.
Yeah.
I'm actually bruised myself, got an
Oh
injury
no.
from from my last time. Um, I'm still like, I'll still be using my scooter, but it's just a lot
Yeah.
harder.
Yeah.
At least now I'll just have to think about getting it in to the flat. I won't have to worry about the other end because I'll just take it
Yeah.
shopping or whatever.
Wherever. Yeah.
Yeah.
Nice.
But it keeps like hitting me in waves. Like it's not fully settled in yet because
Mm.
in addition to my last day of school being on Thursday, Friday, I usually talk to my parents on a Friday, and I
Hmm.
talked to my mom for like 5 minutes because she had some crazy visual things going on. And I was like, "Oh, that sounds like you have a detached retina and you should
Yeah.
go. You need to go see
Yeah.
someone now." Uh,
Yeah. I have shitty retinas and you don't mess with them. Like if you think there's a problem with them,
yeah,
you get checked out ASAP.
please,
Because worst
please
case, they
go.
look at it and they're like, you're good, go home. But best case, they're like, oh shit, this would be bad.
Yeah.
We will fix this.
Yeah. So she went and they said she had a retinal tear, which,
Nice.
yeah, I recognized the symptoms because my best friend Leanna had a similar thing happen, but hers was actually
Yeah.
semi-detached. Um, so yeah, we've talked about it so many times that I know exactly what to look for. So she was like,
Yeah.
I had a bunch of black floaters all at once.
Yep.
And then yesterday it was like a film was over my eye and like I can't see certain parts. And I was like, yeah, that's go.
Sounds classic.
Yep.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
need to go. She bought
Yeah.
eye patches. They came on
Oh
Amazon, so
God.
she was
Oh,
covering it and stuff.
An
Which
eye
is good.
patch
At
is
least
not
she's
going to
got
help
those
you.
now. But
Yeah, that's helpful, but but
thankfully,
yeah,
she did go in
the back of
time.
your eyeball is not going to care what you've put on the front of your
Yeah.
eye.
She clarified today that she was never not gonna go. So that's not why she
Oh,
bought the
okay.
eye patches. She was trying to figure out where to go when
Oh,
I talked to
I
her.
mean, the ER, unless you happen to know another
Well,
like eye place to
well,
go
that's the thing.
instead.
She had an ophthalmologist, so she was like, she was waiting for the ophthalmologist to like open for the day because I talked to her early in the morning.
Yeah,
Um,
but even then, the ophthalmologist is just gonna be like, "This is bad news. Go see someone who
well,
can
that's
do surgery."
the
Right? Like,
ophthalmologist was like, yeah, they can't get you in time, but
yeah,
we can't give you medical advice over the phone, but this
please
hospital,
go.
this certain hospital has a really good eye clinic. And so
Yeah.
they kind of nudged her that way. And then um yeah, she was calling and I was talking to my dad while she was calling. And then
Mm.
she came in and I could tell she was panicking.
Oh,
And she
jeez.
was like, they said go to the the eye hospital, blah blah blah. Um,
Yeah.
and she was like, but I can't see the phone to like call to look anything up. And I was like,
Yeah.
well, how about dad? You
Yeah, you
go
have
do
another
that.
person in the house who
Yeah.
has working
Daddy,
eyeballs.
go take care of that. Take care of my
Yeah.
mom. And he did.
Yeah. That's
He
good.
was, I mean, he was trying to convince her to go too before.
Yeah.
Um, so yeah, he was all about it. So
Well,
he
that's
jumped into
good.
action and they went. And it was her birthday the next day, yesterday. Uh, so I'm sure that was not a super fun
Yeah, it's not really what
birthday.
you want for your birthday.
No.
Yeah.
But she did
I
tell me
spent my birthday
yesterday
in the
that
ER
like,
one year
oh
from
really?
DIY. Yeah, I was scraping tiles off our kitchen floor and stabbed myself with the scraper,
Oh,
and then it was like gushing
fun.
blood. So I got
Nice.
to ride on the bus like with my arm up here so that I would hopefully stop
Uh,
gushing blood. And then thankfully by the time I got to the A&E, like it had essentially stopped bleeding and all they had to do was like clean it out and
yeah.
patch it up and stuff. But
I
I
got
was just like, yay, birthday.
yeah, I got to ride in an ambulance for my birthday when I was
Nice.
24 because
Nice.
I was out at a metal pub and I was all dressed up with like heels and stuff, but I think it
Nice.
was I can't remember why, but the tube was open for like longer than we thought. Like it was 24
Okay.
hours for that weekend or something.
Interesting.
Uh, so we went to the station and realized that we didn't have to leave yet. And so we went
Ah,
back, but I had already changed into flip-flops. So when we went back,
nice.
the slick floor, my legs just went
Oh no.
and
Ooh,
my
ouch.
knee dislocated and then I couldn't
Oh,
move
jeez.
it. So,
Nice.
and
Ouch.
they were trying to, because it was like closing time, they were trying to get
Yeah, and they were like, "Can we please get you out of
uh,
here?"
the people I was with to carry me down the
Oh
stairs.
no. Nice.
And they were like, we're
Cool,
not
that's fine.
moving her. We're gonna wait for the
Yeah.
ambulance.
Yeah.
So yeah, did that.
Jeez.
So fun birthdays. Fun birthdays. It
Yeah.
happens. But she
Nice.
said like she spent the day in bed eating good food. So
Hey,
can't really
there are
complain.
worse birthdays
Yeah,
than that. Yeah, that's all right.
I sent her, I didn't know you could do this, but you can use Uber Eats to send gifts.
Oh, nice.
So I went on
Cool.
Uber Eats just to see like what I could possibly get delivered,
Yeah,
but
what the
how
options are.
complicated it would be. But I was able to get like fresh Krispy Kreme delivered to her within 20 minutes of ordering it. Just
Nice.
showed
Very
up.
cool.
They left it on her porch so she didn't have to interact with anybody. And
Nice.
like you
Very
can
cool.
put that it's a gift.
Yeah.
So I was
Oh,
getting
cool.
the text from the driver on my phone rather than him
Yeah.
trying to contact my
Oh, cool.
mom.
So then they don't know that it's coming.
Yeah.
Nice.
So
That's
that
cool.
was nice. And yeah, she told me, and I knew this, but she said, it has always been my dream for food to magically appear.
Nice. Well, that's cool that
Yeah.
that A, we've reached society where you can do that, and B, you
Yeah.
were able to do that this year. That's nice.
Well, apparently my brother did like 2 weeks ago had just brought her bagels in the morning.
Oh,
So it's
cool.
just like, yeah, we're nailing it. We're
Yeah, no
making her
kidding.
dreams come true.
No kidding. Nice.
Yeah. So yeah, I guess
Cool. So
that's
yeah,
a
you've had a
feels
busy
like a
week
shorter
then.
update than it felt like it should be. But I think Got through it all. Yeah. I
I
retired.
think so. Yeah.
Not getting paid for
Woo.
retirement yet, but I am retired.
Step one, step two, step
Yes.
three. We'll get there in the end.
I am manifesting the future that I desire. There we go.
Exactly. Exactly. Nice.
And how about you? What has been going on?
Um, let's see. I think the last time we chatted, my mother-in-law was in hospital, and I wasn't sure whether they were going to do anything because she's had months of them just not bothering to do anything.
Mhm.
And I felt really bad for her because every day we would visit and she'd be like, "When am I going home?" And I would have to be like, "I'm sorry, but I am not letting you go home until they fix whatever's wrong with
Mhm.
you. I don't care how long it takes, but you are actually staying here until they fix you because if you're here for like 3.5 weeks, they're gonna be like, we need to get this lady off the fucking ward and we will do something. Whereas if you're here for like 3 days,
Yeah.
they'll just be like, oh, we sorted her out. She's home. She'll never have a problem again. Job done. And then she'll be back a week later. So I
Hmm.
was like, I'm really sorry, but you are staying here. On like, we will not let them send you home until they fix you.
Hmm.
And then they did.
And then they did.
They sent her to Dublin. And the Dublin guy who was like, could do something, but her numbers look real bad, so I don't really feel like doing anything. Finally, they convinced him to actually do the thing, and he did the thing. And that was like 2.5 weeks ago. And she's basically been okay since then, at least as far as that medical crisis is concerned, which
Right.
is very good. She was home for, I think, a week and a half, and then she caught shingles.
Yeah.
Well, she didn't catch shingles. She had shingles when she was like 20.
Right.
So they reappeared
Yeah.
50 some odd years later. So that's been fun. Ordinarily, we wouldn't care. We would just be like, we're very sorry for you. We'll do whatever, creams or anti-itch stuff for whatever for you, but like, it's essentially not a huge deal. The
Yeah.
only problem is Gareth has not had chickenpox. And you can catch chickenpox from
Mhm.
someone with shingles, even though you can't catch shingles from someone with shingles, right? Like, so
Right.
it's the same
Okay.
virus.
Yeah.
And if your body's never seen it, you can catch it from shingles. So we've had to
Yeah.
spend the last week and a half being pretty careful about Gareth going in to see her just because we don't want him catching chickenpox.
Yeah.
Because I think we looked it up and like the hospitalization rate for adults with chickenpox is like 10%, and I think the fatality rate is 5%. And I was like, those are not good odds.
No.
I don't want that. Like, so that's not cool. So I think
But
her
then you've
shingles, she
also had reduced carers, right? You haven't had the carers coming as much.
yeah. Yeah, August was kind of weird for carers because August is like the holiday months. Everyone was on holiday or sick or whatever. September was a little bit better, and October's back down to being spotty again because there are like 4 people in our area who are able to go to her house, and she needs two at a time.
Hmm.
So if any of them are off or on leave, like one of them was on leave for a week this past couple weeks, you know, I think 2 of the 4 are actively interviewing for other jobs. So we're like, crap, if they take other jobs, we're kind of screwed,
Yeah.
you know? So yeah, I don't know. It's kind of funny. We've been complaining to them because they keep randomly screwing us over on carers at the last minute. Like they just won't bother to tell us what the deal is. And then we'll be like, no one's shown up. What's going on? And we'll phone up and they'll be like, oh yeah, it turns out, Mary is sick today, so no one can come. And we're like, it would be helpful to know that before it's like half hour after Mary was meant to show up,
Hmm.
just so we can plan.
Yeah,
So
maybe.
we've been complaining to them about that. Of like, you need to let us know what the hell the deal is before the deal is the deal. And so now they've been like over communicating. So like this week they've been phoning. They're like, just so you know, instead of Mary, it'll be Jane. And we're like, as long as it's still 2 people, we don't really
Yeah.
care, like
Right.
whatever. But clearly the message has come down from like, because I talked to one of the managers and she was like, we understand this is frustrating, we'll fix it. And clearly the message has gone down that like they have to communicate every single thing to us now. And we're just
Yeah.
like, and it's always my phone that rings. So I'm just like, okay, they're ringing again. Are they ringing because they're going to be like, oh, you have no cares for the next 4 days? Or are they just going to be ringing to be like, actually, we
Yeah.
swapped out Susan for Joe or whatever, you know?
Right. Yeah.
So, yeah, and we did have a little bit of a panic when she first got diagnosed with the shingles, because obviously, if anyone has small kids that haven't had chickenpox or whatever, they might not want to come
Yeah.
just in case, but like that's actually been fine.
Right.
So, yeah, I think we've gotten through that. Gareth is meant to get vaccinated for chickenpox, but we're waiting on the vaccine to actually come in because I think there's too few, I don't know, 1 year olds in our area for them to actually regularly have the vaccine just
Yeah.
around. So we're waiting on that. And then hopefully he'll get the vaccine so that if this crops up again, because I think as you get older, it's more likely to reappear. Your body, I don't know, presumably it's just a bit more lax or like
Yeah.
weaker against it. So it's more likely that it will crop up again. But hopefully, if it does crop up again, as long as it's 1 or 2 months from now, then Gareth will be vaccinated and then it won't be all on me to do. And it's not like I was actually helping with the physically caring, but it was the meds, it was the meals, it was the chit chat, it was all the other bits.
Yeah. It all adds
And
up.
that was a lot.
Yeah.
So
And
it's
you were
nice that
having to handle food that is unsafe for you to handle.
yes, yes. I am gluten free. No one else is. I mean, Garrett's basically gluten free by default because I
Yeah.
am. But if he has a ready meal or something, he'll eat it with gluten in it.
Yeah.
But obviously, my mother-in-law is not gluten free, and two of the four things she eats a day is bread.
Yeah.
So I would be carrying in the bread, give it to her, handle all her stuff, which probably also has gluten on it because it's associated with the bread, like the jam and
Hmm.
the butter and the whatever
Yeah.
else. And then I would finish up all that, like be very careful not to like touch my face or anything, and then go wash my hands like 4 times.
Yeah.
Just because I don't know what the risk of touching a piece of bread and then putting it in your mouth is as far as exposure, but I don't need to be
Not
glued
risking it.
on top of on top of everything
No.
else. So yeah, hopefully she's actually stable now and we're good. I mean, I think this is the longest stretch she's actually been at home without having
Yeah.
to go into a hospital for, I don't know, since she came home in March. So long may that continue. We squeezed in one physio visit before the shingles cropped up, and she practiced standing up. And she didn't really stand up, but she did like exert herself, which was
Yeah.
good. It
Yeah.
was really promising to see. I didn't think she could do because she's been basically motionless for the last few months.
I
Because
know. Yeah.
every time she moved, her abdomen would hurt.
Hmm.
So I figured she would like go way down physically, but she was actually pretty good. So hopefully we can get the
Yeah.
physio back in the next week or two. Now that the shingles is chill, now that the gallbladder is
Hmm.
chill, we can actually start making some progress.
Yeah. I know how, like, especially with when COVID hit, my physical ability went down because my physical
Yeah,
movement went down,
yeah,
and
exactly.
I can't get it back. So
Yeah.
at least she's showing signs of being able to get it back.
Yeah, and the physio has actually been quite encouraging. I mean, I don't know how much of it is just sort of puffing her up to like
Yeah.
psych her up for things,
Yeah.
but also he's like, hey, I see another person who was only in hospital for 2 months and they have way less muscle tone in their legs than you do, so like that's
Yeah.
cool, you know. So fingers crossed. We'll see. She likes
Fingers
this
crossed.
physio because like he listens to her gripe about the other physios that she hates and agrees with her. And then also like he's very nice and quiet and like isn't one of those like rah rah rah, you can totally do it. I mean, maybe he is, but he knows not to do it with her, basically,
Yeah.
Um,
Uh,
so she likes him because he's like, we'll just take it nice and slow. I will check in with you and see how you feel, and then we'll maybe do it again. And so like
we
he's
will
very
treat you in
nice
a
and
very British manner.
yes. Well, and she keeps saying she's like, it's not that I don't want to do it, I just want to do it at my pace. And I don't think it's necessarily occurred to her that her pace like means she's not gonna be mobile for like 5 years.
Right.
But
You know,
whatever. Like
yeah.
if it's that pace or not at all, then fine, that's the pace she'll go.
Yeah.
Like,
I
whatever,
mean, I get that. Like I'll do it at
Yeah.
my pace because yeah, if I'm like
Yeah.
in a lot of pain and
Yeah. It doesn't matter how
exhausted,
much mentally you're like, all right, I'm gonna push through. Like your body
yeah,
will just be like, no.
yeah,
So
exactly. And that's not like what is the point,
yeah.
you know?
Yeah. And I think for her, a lot of it was mental. I mean, we'll see how she does the next time. This was literally the first time she tried like being out of bed. But in the hospital, they basically shoved her in this like skeletal frame thing that you like hold on to and it props up your legs and it sort of gives you no choice but to stand,
Yeah,
but you have no real support. It's just you have nowhere to go.
yeah,
So she was essentially constantly falling down because she didn't have the leg strength, but like the
yeah,
all the frame bits were keeping her upright. So she was actually like leaning forward onto her shins the whole time, and she was like, that hurt my legs for like a month afterwards. So it's not surprising that based on that, she's like, fuck all this shit, you know?
yeah,
Whereas with this physio, she's got a little Zimmer frame. We both support her from the side and behind so that if she starts to like wobble balance wise, she has a bit of support. But otherwise, it's literally just her attempting to stand and like nothing is forcing her into a standing position, you
yeah,
know? So I think it's much more like her speed as far as how she can progress.
yeah.
So
Well,
we'll
good.
see.
Positive updates, which is
Yeah, definitely.
surprising because like a couple weeks ago it was
Yeah.
like, God, everything sucks.
Yes, indeed. Yeah, when she got diagnosed with shingles, it was like, oh fuck, we
Yeah.
don't need this.
Yeah,
But I
we've
keep
both been
joking
going
that
through
we
a lot.
just keep learning more medical history from her, like as things occur. Because you ask her, like, what's your medical history? And she'll just be like, oh, I have bad lungs and a weird thyroid, and that's it. And then you'll mention stuff like, oh, it looks like you have gallstone issues. And she's like, oh, yeah, I've had
Yeah.
gallstones for 20 years. You mention this other thing. Oh, yeah, someone said I had that 30 years ago. And you're like, cool. Anything else any doctors have told you? You know? Because I feel kind of
To be
fraudulent having
fair,
told medical people like her
yeah.
only medical history is this, and that's it. And then it's like, oh, actually, it turns out these five other things over here too.
To be fair, I've had enough like medical experiences where I try to tell them everything and they're like, we
And they're like,
focus
we don't
on
care.
one problem here. Okay.
Yeah,
So,
yeah,
like, but
indeed.
all the other stuff is probably relevant.
Yeah, it's probably a useful thing to know.
Yeah.
I actually had a pleasant experience in that front. I've been waiting 6 months to see a rheumatologist because I saw a neurologist like back in the spring because my hand kept going numb. So I thought maybe it was carpal tunnel. And typical neurologist, he was just like, it's not carpal tunnel. I don't really care what else it is.
Yeah.
Knit less, basically. And I was like, all right, I guess that's a solution, kind of. And then I was like, but what about these other nerve symptoms that I have that probably also aren't carpal tunnel, but you might be interested in? And he was like, he literally said, oh, I don't think it's epilepsy. And I was like, I don't think it's epilepsy either.
No.
Like, but it's probably something.
Something. Yeah.
And he was just like, well, not epilepsy. That's all I have to say. Bye. And I'm like, thanks, dude. But
Cool.
anyway, he referred me to rheumatology because the only well, I have lots of interesting medical history, but the only interesting medical history that actually has numbers attached are two weird blood results. So like rheumatology is kind of the blood people, but basically. So he was like, maybe rheumatology will have an idea. So I've been waiting all of this time to see rheumatology, and I had such low expectations, partly based on
You
this
really did.
neurologist
Yeah.
being kind of annoying. I was just like, all right, well, whatever. I will attend this appointment just to attend it, but like, whatever, fuck it. Because I had a bunch of asks. Like, I wanted my stepdad, who is a doctor, to be able to join into the call to like help give feedback on my history and anything medically relevant and like, just be an extra voice because I usually have brain fog during these appointments. So they'll
Yep.
be like, what about this? And I'll be like, I have no idea.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
So I wanted him involved, which is an ask. I wanted like random blood result info to be investigated, which everyone's always like, oh, that's very interesting. You've had weird blood results for a decade. No idea why. And then that's the end of the conversation. You're
Yeah.
like, thanks. Thanks a lot.
Yeah, nice.
And then also, I wanted to potentially see about getting onto a medication just on a trial basis to see if it would help my symptoms. So, like, I had a bunch of things going in, and I was pretty confident on all of them that this dude would be like, nah, no, don't bother. But he was actually really open to it. Like, he was totally fine with my stepdad joining in. Like, he sort of treated him like a consult. He was like, "Do you have any thoughts, based on the history and whatnot?" Like, so that was
Yeah,
cool. Even though obviously my stepdad is not my doctor, but like still he is a doctor. So,
yeah,
and he has been following this whole journey the whole time.
right.
So that was cool. He didn't have any concrete thoughts because I literally only have these two blood results. He was like, "Are you
Yeah,
sure you never have fevers?" I'm like, "Nope." "Are you sure you never have rashes?" Like, "Nope." You know?
yeah,
Like, I'm sorry. I know fevers and rashes are other things, but I don't have those. He sounded very disappointed when I was like, "I don't have fevers or rashes or joint pain." Um, but he did say that there's like a regular gathering of rheumatologists when they discuss weird cases they're confused by. So he's referred me to the next one of that, which will hopefully be by the end of the year. So that was cool.
yeah,
And he's open to putting me on a drug that would potentially help with these two blood results numbers. But he said ideally we find out why the blood result things
yeah.
are weird
I mean,
rather than just
ideal world.
a
Yeah,
symptom of the of the blood results. But like given I thought he would just be like, no, I don't actually agree with literally anything you're asking for. Fuck off.
yeah. That's
I
kind
was
of
very pleasantly surprised.
honestly what I expected. I didn't
Yeah.
I like didn't say a lot the day of your appointment because I was just like,
Yeah.
I'm not gonna I'm not gonna add to her negativity. We'll
Oh man,
see
I was
what he
already so
says.
negative. I was just like, whatever. The only positive I think thing I had going was that he's a professor, so I think he's associated with universities. So I was like, all right, maybe he's more into like the weird geeky, thinky probleminess as opposed to just the can I tick the right box diagnosis
Hmm.
ness. That was like the only ray of light I had going in. But it turned out he was really nice, so
Yeah,
that was cool.
that's great.
And we'll see if the little gathering of rheumatologists produces anything. And in the meantime, I have homework to track my fatigue. So that, like, because he was like, "Do you have any history of your fatigue?" And I'm like, "Bad for a decade, like, but I don't have like scores."
Yeah.
So he was like, "Yeah, do actual scores every day because then we can show that your fatigue is always bad, even on your best days. And then we can make a case for putting you on a drug that would hopefully help with that." So it's
Yeah.
like, all right, well, fine. So I'm doing that. And I need to get more blood results because he was like, "You have 10 years worth of blood results, but they're kind of sporadic. So it'd be nice if we get like regular
Yeah.
things that we can see
Yeah, that makes sense.
if they're weird spikes or whatever." So progress,
Yeah.
you know.
Progress
And
is good.
then yeah,
Been a while.
yeah, it's been a decade.
Yeah.
So, progress is
Uh-huh.
cool.
Yeah.
But yeah, so that was cool. And then also on a different medical front, I've been dealing with massive stomach issues. Like I've had a
Yeah.
stomach ulcer for like 18 months, and then I've had that really bad acid reflux also for about 18 months. And I've been seeing this dude locally, and he keeps scanning me, being like, "Oh, you're also still there." He gives me a script for 1 month, which would magically cure my ulcer, tells me to come back in either 3 or 6 months, does another scope, and we rinse and repeat. And this has
Hmm.
been going on for a year and a half. And I'm like,
Yeah.
clearly your 1 month worth of medication is not doing shit. Like, come on. So I finally got fed up with it. And I actually made an appointment with another dude at the same hospital. And so I saw him um last week, this week. I don't know when is time.
All the weeks
Recently.
are just blending together at the moment. Yeah.
Recently anyway. And he was like, "Cool, I think you're having this problem because of this, and this problem because of this, and this medication might help with this. And oh, by the way, you're taking this medication backwards, so you should take like I'm taking two
Yeah.
different stomach medications, and I'm doing one in the morning and one in the evening." And he was like, "Yeah, flip them because actually they work better the other way. I've been on one of those medications for an actual decade. Literally no one was ever like, take it in the morning before you
Oh
eat
my
food.
God.
It's like, oh, good to know. Thanks. Like, what the fuck?
Uh, well, that's like me with the
So,
amantadine. Like I
yes,
was on that
exactly.
for
Yeah, you were on
15
that for a
years.
decade, and
And
no
no
one was
one was
like,
like,
by the way,
you should only take it for 5 to 10 years because then it affects your capillaries and blah, blah, blah.
blah,
Nothing.
blah, blah. Nice.
Yeah. I was just
Yeah,
having
it's
like
just like,
10
what?
stabs every time I tried to get blood taken. I developed a
Exactly. Yeah.
reputation at the hospital.
It's not your fault, it's the meds.
Yeah. So I weaned off, this is the fatigue one. So I weaned off of the fatigue med and now it's one stab
You're actually
done.
cool. Yeah. Nice. Shocking.
Yeah. How about that?
Gotta love it. But yeah, so this dude was like, here's your reason for this, here's your proper reason for this, here's a tweak to your meds. We'll do I did a barium swallow where you drink chalk and then you sit in
Yeah.
front of an x-ray machine while the x-ray person watches the chalk like go through your system. And they were like, seems to be going out of your stomach just fine, whatever. And he was like, actually, we can do a much more specific version of that and like measure exactly how quickly it's going out of your
Yeah.
system rather than just does it do it or not? And then based on that, I can actually like get this actually fixed permanently, which would be really nice.
Yeah. Yeah, it would.
So that's promising too, because
Yeah.
that's been rumbling along for like 2 years now.
Yeah.
So
Yet
yeah.
again, another appointment that I was like, yeah, that's they're not going to tell her anything. And then,
I know, yeah, based on
yay.
his coworker, who granted I haven't seen his I saw his coworker once the first time, and then since then I've just seen his like subordinates.
Yeah.
And they're very nice and they're very cheerful, but like the last time Gareth went with me, because he was like, no, we really need to reiterate how bad your symptoms are. And so we both did. And they were just like, oh, okay, we'll see you in 5 months. And it's like, did you just hear me tell you this is affecting me like on a daily basis? Like, hello? And they're just like, what else? So I sort of assumed that he would be the same.
Yeah.
But well, we'll see. We'll see if he follows through on
We'll
subsequent
see.
visits.
Yeah.
But at least so far, seems good. So yes, we'll see. Maybe in like 6 months, my stomach issues will be chill and my fatigue will be better, which would be nice. I mean, I'm not expecting miracles on the fatigue because this drug has been tried for chronic fatigue and has proven not to work in the trial. So I'm not necessarily expecting magical things,
Yeah.
but if it did help with whatever's causing my blood work to be weird, then maybe that would have a follow-on
Yeah.
effect and like
Fingers
help
crossed.
something. You never know.
I hope so.
So, yeah, so that was cool.
Nice.
So yeah, cool medical stuff. Um, and then yeah, so for me on my work front, so I was working full time in whatever 2 years ago it was, 2023? Yeah,
Yeah.
2023. That was really hard. So 2024, I dropped 4 days a week. That was still really hard. And so then 2025, I've dropped to 3 days a week. And I did the math the other day, and I've been out sick 40% of the year, even on 3 days a week. So
Yeah.
I was like, this is a sign that 3 days a week also is too hard.
Yeah.
And 3 days a week, unfortunately, for my company and my role is like the minimum I can do. Like,
Hmm.
I already spend probably a fourth of a day of those 3 days just catching up on what's going on and who's doing
Yeah.
what and who needs help and whatever else. So, like, if I dropped down any further, I would probably spend like one full day just catching up on shit and then
Hmm.
one full day working. So, yeah, kind of untenable.
Yeah.
Um, but I had a good chat with HR the other day, and they are open to me taking a 6 month leave of absence based on health grounds, and then we'll see where we are in 6 months. And I fully am assuming that in 6 months, I mean, maybe I will feel better, but like mentally, I will just be like, this is cool, not working and not pushing
Yeah.
myself and actually having spare time to like do stuff and spare energy and like actual
Not
spoons
even
and
just,
stuff,
it's not
you know?
spare. It's not spare
No, but
energy.
like actual,
Yeah.
yeah,
I'm
yeah.
just
Like I would love
reframing
to
that because,
go to
yeah, I
choir,
get
and I
it.
go probably once a month at best because the other three
Hmm.
weeks I just don't have the energy. I would love to go to knit night again. Have I found a local knit night 3 months ago? I still have yet to go. You know,
Yeah.
I would really love to ride a horse again. Definitely don't have the spoons for that. You know,
Yeah.
so like I'm hoping that if work is not taking all my spoons,
You
even
can
if those
actually
things
use
also
those
take up
spoons.
spoons,
Yeah.
I can use them for like cool things
Yeah.
and not just for work.
Hmm.
So I'm kind of already presupposing that in 6 months I won't want to go back. But I figured leave the door open.
Yeah. That's a good idea.
Maybe, maybe I will want to go back. Maybe I'll get on this drug and that will work wonders. Maybe fixing my stomach will also work wonders. Who knows? Like,
Yeah.
I don't know where I'll be in 6 months. But yeah, so they're cool with that, doing that. They, she was like, we have to do this the official way so we don't set a precedent. And I'm like, what are we setting a precedent
Yeah.
for? We just setting a precedent for I need a break and I can either quit and you'll never see me again, or you can let me go unpaid for 6 months and you
Yeah.
might see me again.
Right.
Like, what the fuck? And also, multiple other people
Oh,
have gone on leave for like other family reasons, not even them being
yeah.
sick, just other people
So there's
being
already a
needing
precedent,
help.
but
So like, there's
because
already a
you're the sick
precedent.
one, it's not okay.
Yeah, because it's the employee that's the sick one and not like Gareth or I don't know. I don't even know if they would do it for my
Whatever.
mother-in-law, but like, whatever. It because I'm not just like, oh, I need 6 months off because I don't know, postpartum issues or whatever, I don't know.
Yeah. What is the
But anyway,
official
so
way then?
the official way is we get occupational health
Right.
involved and they evaluate me and they go, oh, yeah, cool, 6 months makes sense. They officially write something that says 6 months is good. And then presumably at month five-ish, they get in touch with me and like we plan a return to work kind of
Yeah.
thing, assuming I'm not like, no, just go away. You know? Um, so it's not like the official way sounds like it sounds like it will still happen, so that's
Yeah.
fine. But it's just more paperwork and more hassle.
Yeah.
Like,
Fucking
I
admin when
just,
you're sick is ridiculous.
I mean, just the rules are just so stupid. Like, they don't take into account chronic illness at all. Like, if I'm out 3 days in a row, I have to get a sick note from my GP, and I'm not. So if the sick note says, "Oh, she should be off for a week," and then 2 days later I feel great, I have to go back to the GP and get a note saying I'm cool to work again before I'm allowed to work again. And it's
Hmm.
like, this is clearly geared towards I broke my leg and the
Yeah.
GP said I should be off my foot for 6 weeks or whatever, and ergo I can't go to work. It is not geared for I could feel like shit for 3 months, like I did this
Yeah.
summer, or I could feel shit for 3 days. Literally no idea, you
Yeah.
know? And it's like, what the fuck?
Yeah. The
So,
world
yeah,
is simply not built for chronically ill people. Just
no,
in any way.
exactly. So, I mean, the one nice part is that my company is a telemedicine company, so I can usually get sick notes via my work,
Hmm.
but they can't give me fit to work notes. So then I have to be like really careful about how long I ask for, because if I ask for a week, I'm definitely off for a full week, regardless of how great I feel, And, which is kind of annoying. It's like, why can't you sign me off as I'm good to work again?
Yeah.
When it's chronic fatigue. Like you're literally asking me, how long would you like to be off?
Yeah.
You're not saying, oh, your condition mandates a minimum of 3 weeks or whatever. It is just wild.
Hmm.
So, but yeah, so we'll see. Both that HR lady and me were both off this full next week. So the other HR person is meant to be like progressing with this while we're both off. So I'll see how it is when I go back in a week,
Yeah.
whether like they're like, oh, you need to talk to Shane or whatever, and she'll talk to you on Tuesday or whatever. We'll see. But
We'll see.
that's the plan is I stick it out for the next, I think I have 17 work days left before the
Yeah.
end of the year. So I stick it out for these 17 days. I was like, so let me know when I'm telling my team or when you're telling my team, because like I would like to give them a heads up sooner rather than later. And she was kind of like, oh yeah, let's wait till occupational health is involved or whatever first. And it's like, okay, I mean, this feels like the less official part if I'm just literally
Yeah,
giving my team a heads up of like,
right.
I'm gonna be
Yeah,
gone, you know?
same, because I told the music service that I was leaving, and
Yeah,
I like uh I said like the school is lovely. It's nothing to do with the school. It is
yeah.
simply my
If
health.
I
I
had
can't
tons
keep
of
up.
energy, I would
Yeah.
stay, but yeah,
And
yeah.
they were, I mean, the music service was really great about it, but they
Mm.
said, please don't tell the school until we find a
We've given them
replacement
a
and we
heads up.
let them know what's going on. And so I
Yeah.
had to go in and they just
Act like
happened.
you were.
Yeah, but like two of the staff members that I was like talking to just happened to start talking about retirement
Oh,
and
nice.
like how they can't wait to retire because
Oh,
they'll feel
nice.
like they have a life. And I was
Yeah, and
like,
you want to be like, me too, but in 10
oh,
days or whatever.
I
You know?
so on my last day, I went in and everyone knew, and I didn't know. Like,
Oh,
I didn't know
nice.
this that the
Nice.
music service had told them. It was just that
Yeah, I feel like
morning.
they should have given you a heads up. Like, FYI, the school
Yeah,
knows.
that would have
Like,
been nice.
you know,
They did not. So, yeah,
nice.
they emailed the school that morning and they knew that I
Okay.
was medically retiring and everything. And I went in and they
Okay.
were all so sweet to me. And
Yeah.
I went into the classroom and that the teacher that was talking about retiring came in and
Yeah.
gave me a hug and she was like, "Oh, we just
Oh,
heard." And she was like really kind and compassionate and she said that she explained it to the kids about
oh,
like
that's
people having
cool.
medical
Nice.
conditions and you just don't know looking at them. Um,
Yeah,
and
exactly.
so yeah, she handled it really well. And I was like, I'm so
Nice.
sorry, you were talking about retirement last week. And
Yeah, I really
I
wanted
wasn't
to
allowed to
say,
say
but
anything.
yeah.
But yeah, oh,
Yeah, my
they're
project
so
manager.
nice.
Oh, that's cool. That's cool.
Yeah, it
Yeah.
is.
Yeah, my project manager the other day was like, so we're wrapping up this project and we're starting this other project, but I want to keep you on the one we're wrapping up because like I don't want your focus to be split and we really need to like get that one over the line. So I'm gonna keep you on that one and not have you focus on the other one. And I was like, good, do that because I probably won't be here for the other one. But of course I couldn't tell her that. I was just like, I'm happy to stay on the old project. Cool, thank you. You know, and I couldn't give her context of like also really don't rely on me for this next one, you know,
Yeah.
because I will really not be here.
Yeah.
I mean,
Well,
it sounds like they're going to do a similar thing to you in that they're going to hire like a contractor or something to fill my
yeah,
role for the 6 months and
right.
stuff. So, like, there will be someone, but it's not going to be me, you
Yeah.
know? So, yeah. Which, whenever she's like, you're so valuable to us and you're so helpful, and I'm like, that's cool, but also I might be gone. You
Yeah. Yeah.
know? Like,
Oh, yeah,
and again,
the
it's nothing against work. Like work is annoying in the ways that work is annoying sometimes. But like this is arguably the best place I've ever worked. You know,
yeah.
I would happily stay here, but not at the expense of literally all my spoons, you know.
Exactly. And that's, I was going to say the head teacher was like, the feedback has been so positive. Everyone really enjoys your
Oh,
lessons. And I was
oh,
like, yeah, I'm
nice.
good at my job. I'm
Yeah,
also
exactly.
done.
I'm a good teacher, but that's not a reason to stay
No.
teaching. Yeah, I don't know. Similar to you were saying, like your body has decided it's done once you gave it an excuse to be like, hey, we could just be done. I feel
Yeah.
like my body and my brain have also like
Yeah.
just like I feel like the 3 months that I was dead this summer was really a wake up call for me because I usually get dead for part of the summer because I don't tolerate heat well,
Yeah.
but this was like all summer, regardless of what the temperature was outside,
Right.
regardless of what I was doing. I just felt like death for 3 months straight. And it's just like, all right, clearly this is not working, you know.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
and I feel like once I don't know, I feel like whether it's subconscious or conscious or like coping mechanisms or just like we have no choice, but we're gonna get through it kind of like on whatever level it is, your body is just like, all right, I'm just gonna deal with it because it's what we gotta do, you
Yeah.
know? There's nothing else to do but deal with it.
Right.
Once there's a hint of like, or you could just not, then your
Yeah.
body's like, Oh, really?
We can
Really?
just
That's
not?
a thing? Like,
Are you
I
sure?
didn't know that was, yeah, yeah,
Didn't know that was an option.
yeah.
All right,
So
we're
I
done.
can't, like,
We're done
yeah,
now. I was already done before the school year started, to be fair, because I
yeah,
was just like, I guess I'll do one more year. I don't really want
yeah.
to, but I will do it. And
Yeah,
then,
you were going in
yeah,
like knowing.
yeah,
But you also had breaks built in, whereas I'm theoretically meant to work full time all year round,
yeah,
right? I mean, obviously annual leave, but like I don't have summer holidays from school or anything,
right.
so I didn't have any of that, like, okay, I gotta gear up to work again. It was just, I'm constantly trying to
Yeah,
keep
exactly. It's a
going,
very different working situation. It's very
Yeah.
intense,
Whereas,
like
yeah,
in the
like
moment, very intense.
I
And
can't
then
imagine
you have
like
breaks.
psyching myself up to be like, I've actually had a break for 2 months and now I gotta like get back in the groove.
Yeah, it was hard. And like when I've had time off sick for like
Yeah.
months at a time, it was always like, okay, this is gonna be hard.
Yeah. Yeah. We
And it
gotta
would
like
feel
gear
like
up for it.
I
Yeah.
was climbing uphill until I
Yeah.
got myself back to kind of a reasonable level. But I was still breaking
Yeah.
myself, but I wasn't breaking
Yeah. But
myself
your body was just kind of like, all
so
right,
much.
we're
Yeah,
we're
we
used
can,
to it.
yeah, we can
Yeah.
kind of handle this maybe. We're still like in survival mode, but
Yes. But we're used to the pace now as
yeah,
opposed
yeah.
to gearing up for it.
I explain it like a carousel moving, like you're
Mm.
not really conscious of it while you're on it and how
Yeah.
fast it's moving. And then you get
Yeah.
off and
But then
it's
you get
like
off and
you
you're like,
gotta try to get back
whoa.
on.
Yeah.
Like that's
Yeah. You
hard.
gotta get like up, get to the
Yeah.
pace and like
Yeah.
jump on a horse and
Yes.
yeah. Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah, exactly.
Um, and
So
every
yeah, I
time
don't
you
know.
jump
I feel
off,
like I've
it's
been
like
telling,
faster and faster, harder to
yeah,
get back on.
yeah. I feel like certainly the past couple months, probably on at least a weekly basis, I turn to Gareth and I'm like, cool, here's yet another sign from either the universe or the medical establishment or my body
Yeah.
or all of the above or whatever that like this is not cool. you know? So I know I think it was back in August maybe. We booked a bunch of tickets at a little art center opened up in town, I think at the beginning of the year, and so they keep putting on things every week. And so we booked tickets to various things this fall, like in advance. And one of the things was a Joni Mitchell, I don't know, cover band kind of thing. It wasn't obviously it wasn't Joni Mitchell, but it was people singing Joni Mitchell
Yeah.
songs. And I was like, that sounds awesome. Let's go. So we booked tickets. And then on the day I was just so dead. And I was like, I should be able to go. Like it's literally walk to the car, sit in the car, wheel into the theater, sit in the theater for 2 hours or whatever, wheel to the car, walk back into the house, and I just couldn't do it. And
Yeah.
like,
See, to me, that sounds like a lot. That,
well, yes, I mean
yeah.
it was a
It
lot,
is.
but
Yeah.
like in theory, I should have like I'd been off the day before, so
Yeah.
like I was all prepped to have like the right
Yeah.
number of spoons to do it, and I just couldn't.
It's so
I was like,
frustrating when you've done everything right and it's
yeah.
still,
And I was like, there's this, and there's one thing in October, and those were the two things I was gonna do this whole year,
yeah.
and I can't do one of them.
Yeah.
And I was just like, cool, this is another sign. Like if I've
Yeah.
been planning for this 4 months, I prepped the week of because I knew it was happening, and I still couldn't get there.
Yeah.
And it's just and like physically, it's not like it was that. It's not like I was gonna go
Yeah.
out and like walk a 5K or anything, you
Right.
know? Like it was literally just sit in various places and
Hmm.
positions. But I was just like, no, that's too much.
Yeah.
And yeah, it was just like another sign that like, yeah, my body is
Mhm.
done with all this shit, you know? Like and my job relative like physically speaking is so much more
Yeah.
chill than yours,
Yeah.
you know?
Well, that's why
Like
you've been able to carry on 3 days-ish. And
yes,
I'm
yeah,
down to
that's why
two
I've been able to
hours and
actually
then
do
now
this.
nothing. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, and also
It
my
was
commute is
comparable though.
literally my bedroom to this room, so I
Yeah.
couldn't work if I had to commute. Like
Yeah.
that would take all my
Yeah.
spoons. So,
Yeah. Like I said, the mobility scooter part of it, not that bad. But
yeah.
okay. So the inaccessibility of the buildings and
Yeah.
also sometimes the roads. It
Yeah.
depends. So like it is bin day on the day that I would be going. And
Yeah.
so I'd have to, I learned how to take back
And
roads
again, you
so I
can't
could stay on the
predict it.
street. Yeah,
Like,
you can't. But also
you
the
know,
pavements are so, the dropped curbs are so random.
yeah. I
And then people
swear,
park up
everyone
on the
who
pavement.
like has authority or um what's the word? Seriously, what is the word?
Power.
No. Where you encourage someone.
Oh, I know what you
I don't
mean, and I
know.
can't think of the word either. Influence?
Whatever the word. Yes, influence. There you go.
Brain fog. Yay.
But anyone who has authority or influence over stuff like that, I wish I could put in a rule that like one day a week you have to borrow a wheelchair or like there will just be wheelchairs available because everyone is going to have to be doing it
Yeah.
and you just have to get around in a wheelchair for a day,
Yep.
you know.
That
Even
I
if it's
saw.
just literally like your car into your office and then your office to like the place three doors down to get a sandwich and then back and back to your car.
Mhm.
Like I feel like even that would be enough where people would be like, "Oh shit, we need to fix that. We need to fix that. We
Yeah.
need to fix that," you know?
I started watching a series on social media, and I don't know who it was, but it was they healthy people are allowed to borrow my chair so they can go and experience life as yeah.
Yes.
So it was like
Yes.
videos of these healthy people trying to get around in a wheelchair and like
Trying to
this is
maneuver. Yeah.
ridiculous. Like
Yeah.
I can't get through here and then like I can't even like if I was walking I would be like looking around at my surroundings.
Yeah.
I
Be
am
like chilling
literally
out.
focused on the ground in front of me and I
Yeah.
cannot look anywhere
I
else.
can't absorb anything
No.
else. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah,
The
it's so
October
true.
thing we did go to, so that was last weekend, I think. And it was good. Like I'm glad we went. But both the actual event and the venue it was hosted in, like both their websites were like, "Oh, we're totally accessible. It's all cool." And like, yes. No one expected me to pop out of my wheelchair and like walk up steps and like get back in my wheelchair. So like on that bare minimum level, I will grant you it was accessible. But the parking bays were not labeled as such. There were no signs towards the parking bays, so we
Hmm.
didn't park in the blue badge parking because we literally had no idea where it was. Like there was a vague thing on their website of like it's out front by the main entrance, but we were like, where does that mean?
Yeah.
You know, like what? And then you get in via the main entrance. It's all cobblestones, which sets off my nerves and pisses off
Hmm.
my body
Yep.
because you're bouncing along.
Hmm.
Weirdly, it was split in half. So like the half that we actually had to go down, they'd actually grouted it and like leveled the cobblestones reasonably well, so it was pretty good. The other half that we accidentally went down first, they just couldn't be bothered.
Yeah.
Like, there was like 3 inches between stones. There was no
Hmm.
grout. It was like, was the same crew involved in this whole
Yeah.
strip? Because you guys slacked off real hard on this side. But like so there were cobblestones. We were told to go in as one entrance that had ramps, and we tried to go in and then got yelled at for going in that way. We were like, this is the only way we can go with a wheeled vehicle. And they were like, oh, I guess it's fine. You know, and it's just like, come on, people.
Yeah.
And like the event started, I think, at 10 a.m. and we showed up at 2:30. So like it wasn't like they were just getting in the groove and like brand new to, the concept of people showing up or anything. Like
Hmm.
they'd had several hours. Maybe no one else in a wheelchair had shown up, but like they
Yeah.
should have been kind of in the groove of people
Right.
showing up and letting them in and stuff, you
Yeah.
know. And it was just like it was fine. It was accessible. Like there was a lift down to the toilet. The accessible toilet was real nice. Like that it was manageable. But also I could name 10 things that I would change if I were to make it more accessible.
Yeah.
And like both websites, both the venue website and the event website were both like, oh yeah, we really care about accessibility. It's all cool. It's so important to us. And it's like, okay, but have you tried it?
Yeah.
Like,
Like, are you certain that it's
Yeah.
accessible. Are you
I don't
sure?
I don't blame the venue organizer or the event organizers because I don't expect them to show up to the venue in a wheelchair. But
Yeah.
like the museum people, it's
Yeah.
like, when was the last time one of your staff tried to get into your museum in a wheelchair?
Yeah.
Because they would probably notice it's not fun, you know?
Right.
Like they could fire whoever did the one half of the cobblestones and rehire the other half and
Hmm.
like sort it out for the entire place, or whatever. And it's just like, oh, I wish you people could experience this and realize just the minor things that like take it out of you.
Yeah.
Like we were there for I think about 45 minutes and I would have gladly stayed longer. I would have gladly stayed for like an hour and a half. But I was just like, nope, let's leave. Like we saw the bare minimum, we're done, we're going home because it was just like I'm tapped out.
Yeah.
Like,
It's a lot.
and I'm not
It's a
saying that
lot.
those changes would have made the difference. Maybe they wouldn't have, but they certainly wouldn't have hurt.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
Exactly. If I didn't have to get my mobility scooter up steps and a curb,
exactly, yeah, that's
that would change
a
things.
big amount of effort that you wouldn't
Yeah,
have to worry about. Yeah,
exactly. And it's just
yeah,
so many extra things that we have to worry about. It's not just,
yeah.
I don't know. There's so much added stuff that people just don't see. Like,
Well, and even just literally, like, we were driving around, their parking lot was insane. It was huge and it had like four signs in it, and that was it. And we were like, do we pay? Do we not pay? Where are we allowed to park? Like, even if you didn't have to park in a blue badge spot, it was insane. We were just like, what the fuck is going on? But I'm sitting here on my phone being like, what do they say about where you can park as a disabled person? And literally, there's one line of like, oh, we have spots out front. You were like,
yeah,
but where?
yeah, yeah. We need
Like,
more specificity. Is that the right word for
yes,
that?
exactly. Yes. Don't
Specificity.
just hand wave out front. Because it turned out front was like full of like vans and things. So I sort of figured that was
Yeah,
for like service
right.
deliveries or whatever.
Makes
And then it
sense.
turned out when we left, we drove past that little spot, and the two marked spots that were for blue badges that had been full when we originally walked past them were empty, and we could be like, oh, there are black and white signs that don't look at all like blue badge spot signs
Yeah.
saying they're for disabled.
Oh,
Okay, good to
interesting.
know.
Yeah.
Like, so you're not even following the rules for like how you label this,
Yeah.
but also you're not labeling anything else like disabled that way or whatever.
We shouldn't have to do a full recon mission
Exactly.
just to be
And
able
I've
to
done
go
that
somewhere.
so many
Me too.
times.
Me too.
Like I'll be sitting there on Google Street View and I'll be like, oh, I see there are four disabled spots outside. Cool. Or I see that like the nearest drop curb is 4 blocks away. Okay, good to
Hmm.
know, or
Yeah,
whatever.
exactly.
But that shouldn't be part of your prep to decide to go someplace.
Nope.
So yeah,
Fuck the world.
anyway.
Fuck the
So medical stuff was good. The Yarny event I went to was good, if slightly problematic, but good. I'm glad I went. And yeah, work retirement is pending, hopefully
yeah.
with minimal paperwork.
So hopefully this will
And
soon be our
I'm
retirement
hoping,
party
yes, we will have to do something
ongoing.
special for the retirement party.
Yes.
Um, but yeah, um, I'm hoping that the other HR guy this next week will like move forward with occupational health so that at least when I'm back the following week, I can give my team a heads up because otherwise I'm gonna be like, by the way, I'm leaving in 2 weeks, bye. And I think my project manager will cry.
Yeah.
Like, so I would rather not do that to her. But yeah, I don't know what the reason is for the delay, honestly, because they don't, it's not like they're acting like occupational health might decide that I don't need 6 months off. They seem totally fine with that as long as I get whoever to sign a thing being like, yes, this is cool.
Yeah.
So I don't entirely know. Because I assume they're not waiting so that they can be like, oh, Shanti will be replaced by Bob for 6 months. Like, I mean, they probably are moving forward trying to find a contractor, but like, I assume they're not going to wait till that
Yeah.
to communicate. I don't know. Maybe it's something weird with like Irish employment law or something, but yeah, I don't know.
Maybe.
But I would the whole reason I'm trying to stay until the end of the year is to like not fuck over my team. Whereas if it were left up to me and my body, I would just be like, I am done this week. Like, I'm
I mean,
sorry.
I feel like that's what most
Bye.
people
You
would
know.
do in your
Yeah, but
situation.
like
I know. I
I
know.
want to try and be nice to my team and whatnot. But
I
yeah,
get it.
I
I
did
do.
tell HR, I was like, I'm gonna try and aim for the end of the year, but I might have to pull that forward if my body says no. And she was like, yeah, okay, cool, you know, so we'll
Yeah.
see. Yeah. My GP is I don't know. He's a very nice man, but he's in his 60s. He's clearly ready to retire. Like,
Like,
you
sure,
know,
I'll do whatever.
he's questioned a little bit my whole like I want to be retired because he's like, you're young, you don't have to. And I'm like, okay, but I do, you know.
Yeah.
But I was in with him this last week and I was like, cool, are you good with this 6 month plan? And he was like, yeah, 6 months sounds great. And I think he thinks after 6 months I will feel amazing and I'll be back at work. And I'm just kind of like,
I
you
hope
have fun
so.
thinking that. I would love for that to be the case.
Yes, fingers
But
crossed. It does not sound likely, but no offense.
yeah. To be fair, I've never tried 6 months off. I think I've
Yeah.
taken 2 months off, and that's the
Okay.
longest I've been off. So
So
maybe what I
maybe
really
it'll
do
be a
need is six
magic
months
reset
of just
then.
like nothing to like push myself to
Yeah.
do and whatnot, and I can just pick and choose what I have spoons for.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, at least he's cool. Like he was kind of. I've been talking with him about this sort of the last 6 months, sort of laying the groundwork of like I would eventually like you to sign me off forever, please. You know, and he's always been very much like you don't have to. You work from home. You're young. Blah blah blah. And I'm just kind of like okay, but
Yeah.
I also keep coming into you asking you to sign me off with exhaustion. So you know,
Right.
like being young and working from home isn't doing me so much good, you know?
Exactly.
But yeah, I mean, to be fair, he was like, hopefully after 6 months you'll feel great and you'll be back at work. And if not, that will also tell us something. And I'm like, yep,
Yep,
totally
exactly.
will. So hopefully if after 6 months I'm still like, nah, not happening, he'll be fine with
Yeah.
at least another 6 months and then
Right.
rinse and repeat.
Yeah.
So yeah, progress on many fronts in my
Yeah.
life the last little bit, which is good. It's
Yeah.
good.
We
I
both
feel
got a
like
lot
I'm
of
kind of
good stuff
like
going on.
desperately hanging on to like make it through the end of the year just as a nice like closure point.
Yeah.
And if I can get that done, if I can't, then fine. I will have at least tried. But if I can get through that, then that would be a nice way to just like tie a ribbon on the year. I will have put as forward as much effort as I could possibly do. You know, I've tried all the things.
Yeah.
Like because I feel like in December nobody gives a shit anyway. So hopefully December will be nice and chill anyway because everyone starts to go on holiday for Christmas or they're already planning their holiday for Christmas or whatever and
Yeah.
they stop showing up to meetings and we're just kind of like, we'll do a thing whenever, you
Especially
know.
over here. Over here, it's
Yeah.
like Christmas just extends for so long and no
Yeah.
one gives a shit about
Yeah. I feel like
anything except
December
Christmas.
1st hits and everyone's just kind of like, we only have like 2 weeks to like go out for Christmas, so I don't give a shit about any of the
Yeah.
things I gave a shit about last week,
Yeah.
you know? Whereas certainly in America, it was like, no, we give a shit until like the 20th, and then we
Yeah.
start not giving a shit, you know?
Uh-huh.
Like,
But you still have to show to work on like Christmas Eve and
yeah, the 23rd and 24th, you're here, you know?
you might not care, but you're here. Hey, if you're still here, thanks for sticking around.
Like and subscribe and help with the YouTube algorithm.
Join the Chronically Fabulous Club.
We have a Discord and a website and an Instagram.